Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from SweetStamper.com. And it's time for Thursday night stamping, which means I'm very excited to see you and to interact with you and to make some great cards together. So I haven't been on to chat with you like this, like in person, like showing my face in forever. So I just thought I'm actually trying a little bit of a different camera setup tonight. So you could let me know how it works when I start stamping. I actually switched to, I have two, I'm still working on, I'd love to do like a studio showcase, but I have I have two long desks in my studio, and I usually am at the one behind me, and tonight I am at the opposite one, and I'm thinking maybe the lighting will be better. We'll find out if that's the case or not. So let me just, yeah, I'm in the right place, so this is good. Okay, I am going to flip the camera down, and we are going to make 4 cards tonight. So this is the time when I make all the cards that we're going to be making at Saturday card class this week. So, and I will be sharing all of the tutorials for these in my email that is going to go out later tonight. So you will want to make sure that you are subscribed to my email news. Okay, here we go. Oh, golly. Okay, well, the best laid plans. I did try this out earlier, and oh, you can see my bare feet. Okay, let's try this again. I think we're going to get there. Yep. Okay. Okay. Now I have a big white. Okay. I'm trying to avoid glares. Okay. I think that's pretty good, except for that little glare spot right there. And I think once I start stamping, you won't see that. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay. It is Thursday night stamping, and we are pretty near the end of July. And let's see. Hey, Tasha, it's so good to see you tonight. And Jolene is here from Minnesota, and Margaret from Virginia. I'm going to be flying out to Virginia in just a few weeks. So we're getting super excited about seeing the grandkids. And of course, we enjoy seeing my daughter, obviously, and my son-in-law. But you know, once those grandkids come, yeah, it's all about the grandkids. Okay, let me show you where we're going to go tonight. And I'm hoping that this angle is going to be okay. I kind of am afraid to mess with this. Maybe that's going to be a little better. Yeah, I changed at this desk. I needed to use a different tripod, and this one, it seems to, as soon as I put my phone in here, it seems to all of a sudden it's acting like my phone weighs 10 tons, which it does not. Okay, well, we're just going to go with it. I did practice this. Okay, so actually the first card that we are doing is, I'm not going to actually demonstrate this because I did it earlier this month. So this is the card that I have made with the Paper Pumpkin stamps from the June Paper Pumpkin kit. And I used these wonderful, wonderful dies. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can purchase these dies for only $12. Circle of Season. So I have pointed these out to you once before, but I just wanted to kind of recap that. This is what the dies look like. So I've used the circle. I've used the leaves, and they have that little thing that makes like an imprint on there. I used both of the dies for the strawberry. And these little guys too, they're from this as well. And then the stamps are actually from the Paper Pumpkin kit. So I did this earlier this month, but I will have this in the tutorials that I will be releasing. I said I'd be releasing them tonight. I think it's going to be tomorrow because I went into, hey, Susan, I'm glad you're here from New York. Hello, Linda. I went into my tutorials to get them kind of lined up to send out tonight and realized I hadn't completed them. So I think they'll probably go out tomorrow, and that's actually okay. I'll have the video to share at that point and everything. So this is my super summary card. And I think, you know, you could put happy birthday in here. You could put congratulations. You could put a gift card. I love, love, love this whole, everything about this. Very bright and fresh colors. This is Shy Shamrock and Sweet Strawberry Slush. I wanted to say Sweet Sorbet. Strawberry Slush. So that is the first card we will be doing for Saturday card class. Now we're going to head into a little bit of fall. So this is where we're going. And this is using Everyday Arches. Now, yes, I have everything over here. This is going to go on the inside. Now, I have a couple of different patterns. This is the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper, which I believe it was in last year's fall or holiday mini catalog, and it made it into our annual catalog. And sorry about the tickle that's still happening. So this is actually good because I'll get to show you an alternate piece. But I think that these kind of deep smoky colors of autumn really coordinate well with the greeting, "You are a ray of sunshine." Now, we are using Everyday Arches. So this is a bundle. This is the one that has been so incredibly popular because of those crazy dies. We love these dies. They are so versatile. A lot of people buy just the dies. To me, I'm like, well, you might as well just get the stamps as well. Get the bundle. I do believe they're back in stock again. They seem to pop in and out of stock rather quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer 2 of these together. Now, yeah, I do have it. Okay. And I'm using, these are called the Starburst Sequins. These actually, I believe, are part of the suite with the hydrangeas. But I love, actually, all of these colors would look really good with this. Okay, so let's do our stamping first. And I'm going to stamp Blackberry Bliss. You are a ray of sunshine. I think that's a lovely, lovely greeting for someone, particularly if you're wanting to brighten someone's day. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. My camera's a little bit close, but you know, this may work out well. I don't know. It seems really close to me, but you guys might like it. So I'm definitely open to opinions. I love opinions. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah, I'm just a tiny bit cattywampus, but I think it'll be okay. Hey, Gail, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, Kelly. So Kelly will actually be at Saturday card class, as will Tasha. So it's fun to have a few people on here that are going to be in class because they're already ahead. They already know where the teacher's heading. And that's actually very helpful in class because then they can help some other folks. Okay, now I need, these little birds are so cute. And you could, in fact, I probably should put some of these on the inside too. So I'm just using my crushed curry ink pad, which kind of looks like it's seen better days, but it actually works great. So let's put that right up there. And then let's, before I put this away, this is going to go on the inside. So I think we'll put these like so. This would actually be a really good one for the envelope too. Now, because I'm being actually a really good girl, I'm actually cleaning my stamps as I go. I'm terrible about not cleaning them as I go, mainly when I'm on camera because I feel like I don't want to waste that time, waste your time. Hey, Ernie, it's so good to see you here tonight. But because I have class, have to get them back where they need to be. So that's actually helping me to be a little bit of a better stamper. Now, my seal. I thought I had my seal here. Of course I don't. Let's see. Here we go. I need this and I need this. Okay, So we are going to, I don't like that. Okay, we're just going to layer these two together. These arch dies are just amazing. And you know, they're so versatile in their shape and all the sizes. You can scrapbook with them. You can do cute little 3D items with them. They make great layers, and they cut really well. So, you know, sometimes you kind of struggle with a die. You know, these just pop right out. Now, I'm using this gold striped ribbon, and I'll show you what I like to do with this to give it a really trim look. I didn't want any ribbon tails. I wanted to have a really flat look. Well, not flat. I wanted a tailored look. That's what we used to call it, a tailored look. So I'm going to tie just a single knot. Now I don't want it to be too tight, but I want it to be pretty. That side is actually going to be a little bit prettier. There we go. Now I've got way too much ribbon on that. So we're going to lay it across here and put the tails on the back. And we're just going to put plenty of seal on there so I can put the tails down. And I want to center that. I want to center the knot. So really and truly, while I'm working here and showing and demonstrating, I'd love to hear any feedback. You will, if you're here regularly, you'll notice that I have this very different camera setup tonight, and I think my hands are too big on this. But you might like the fact that you can see the project really close up. You might prefer my usual setup. So I'm definitely open to your feedback on that. Okay, there's that. And that's going to go there. So you can see, you know, depending on which piece of paper you're using, this has much more purple and hardly any yellow, where this one is, this one has a lot more of the yellow and the orange. I think it's crushed Korean pumpkin pie in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this, here we go. So this card, to me, kind of leans into fall. This is the time of year when I want to start getting some things ready for fall, dabbling a little bit with Christmas, but I don't want to jump out of summer too quickly, because otherwise I find that as much as I love fall, I will start, I don't know, feeling a little bit, then I'll rush Christmas. So I try to enjoy, you know, each season. Here in South Central Texas, you know, our seasons, we have to really enjoy them because outside doesn't really indicate a lot of change. So this is the way that we can just really maximize the time of year and not rush things. As much as I want to rush out of the heat, I love the images of summer. So that summer, our summer strawberry card is my keeping into summer, and now we're going to lean into fall just a little bit. Now I think, I don't know, because this one I was highlighting the yellow, I might want to highlight this purple. Let me just try it and see what we think about using these purple. Oh, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Let's use the purple sequins to give it a little bit of a tie-in. I like that. Okay, so there's the original, and my demonstration card uses the freesia sequins. Okay, card number 2 done. Is the first one I just showed you. So next we're going to lean into fall again. So this is the new online exclusive, Perfectly Pairs. This is really, really lovely bundle. This is actually a whole suite. There's gorgeous paper. So the stamps are lovely. These are distinctive, which means, and I'm going to use one of them tonight, it means that when you stamp with it, it has like a watercolor look. It does all of that shading for you. And so these are some fun standalone dies, and then these two little tiny tag dies, and then of course the ones that cut out the images. So we have, again, just kind of leaning into fall, we are going to use this really, what I think is a very cool color scheme. We are using the very soft, soft seafoam for our card base. We are using Pretty in Pink Designer Series paper. This is from the Unbounded Beauty, and I'm using the all pink side. Whoopsie, wow. Yeah, I think it feels like this is kind of coming down even farther. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit without making everybody seasick. Ay, ay, ay. Sometimes I don't leave well enough alone. Oh, I think that's better. Okay, I think that's a little better. I felt like it was kind of coming down, falling down on me while I'm working here. Okay, now when you use this paper, although there's a lot of up and down, like the pattern isn't truly up or down, but you want to kind of look at it to see which direction you want to place this. And I'm going to just stick it down flat. Yeah, so I've got a few coming down, but mostly I want the ones that are going up to be going up. Ay, 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 when I place the card, look at that. I had it centered, and then, well, let's see. I think I've cut this pretty tight. I might need to adjust that width measurement just a tiny bit. You know, one of the great things about this little demonstration I do each month, where you get a free card class online, is this also for my people who are going to be at my card class in person. This gives me a chance to walk through everything, test everything, because you know the reality is, even though you make the project ahead of time, you design it, sometimes when you go to start cutting things and putting all your pieces together, you're missing something. And then I have to leave class, leave somebody in charge, drive home. We do my classes at my church, which I'm very blessed to be able to use. And thankfully, I don't live very far, but I prefer to not have to do that. Okay, so these are just 2 circle punches, and we are going to stamp the pears in Mossy Meadow. Now, I am going to do something a little different than my original, and I'll tell you why. You can be my test run. So these lovely pears I'm stamping in Mossy Meadow. Now, my original, I used crushed curry for the pears, but I'm using crushed curry on the other card, and I don't like to have to run I only have 1 crushed curry pad, and I don't want to have to run back and forth to the tables, people having to share the ink to different tables from where they're working. That's just not a great experience. So I am going to blend this out just a tiny bit. I have a blending brush here, not blending brush, a blender pen. This is one of the first things I used when I first started stamping, and I still love these things. And more often than not, you can pick up a little bit of ink from, you know, you can put a little bit of ink on a surface and pick it up. But usually I like to just bleed out the ink like that and give it just a soft, soft look. Now, I'm going to try doing the pears, which I didn't get out. I didn't get them out. I'm going to try doing them in Darling Duckling, and I think that will work. So we're going to give it a whirl here. Actually, Darling Duckling is in the Designer Series paper that goes with this. but I'm not using that paper. I'm using a different paper. Hello and welcome, Corinne. It's great to see you here tonight. So let's try this with Darling Duckling and see. I'm thinking it's going to work much better for my class if I can use different yellows in these projects. And I'm just using the one color. You can add different colors to this. Oh, I'm liking it. You can see where Darling Duckling has a definite green tinge to it. It's a greeny yellow for sure, which I really like. I'm enjoying Darling Duckling a lot. Crushed Curry is much more of a really rich, deep kind of, it's a more goldy yellow. I'm gonna need this. So let's just see, once we put it, oh yeah, that definitely works. But look at the difference. You can see how this is much more golden and this is much more green. Actually looks real, I can see why they chose that color for the Pears Sweet, because it really does go so well with it. Now, oh, there's my seal right there. So I hope you guys are having a good summer. We hit 100 degrees today again. We haven't done it, and we've had, I think we actually hit 100 degrees in May when I was out of town, thankfully. It's not my favorite thing. We hit it today. I think we hit it yesterday, and I think we're going to have one more day, and then we're actually going to have a little bit of rain at the weekend, hopefully. There's a tease of rain. We're always hoping and praying for rain. And my youngest son, his wife is pregnant with their fourth, and they went for their sonogram today. Everything looks great. We're supposed to get a gender reveal, and they decided that they asked the sonographer to seal the gender, and her parents are going to be up there in about a week, and they're going to do a gender reveal with her parents, and they are going to contact us immediately. I said, Leah, I could never hang on to that like that. So, well, I love a surprise. I'm like, ooh, yeah. No, I just want to know now. So we are on pins and needles waiting to hear whether they have two boys and a girl. Felicity, the daughter, she's already been calling this a little girl, of course, That's not surprising, but we shall see what it's going to be. If we're going to have another boy or a girl, we shall see. Super exciting, but everything looks great, and that was the main thing. So they are in North Carolina. They just moved there about a month ago, not even. Almost a month ago. So they are still settling in, and it's been a great move for them. And I have not yet put together my first box for the kiddos, but that is coming. I've got my older grandchildren are in Virginia. We will be going to visit them in Williamsburg in just a couple of weeks, and we're super excited. We're actually leaving on our wedding anniversary, and we will be getting there the same day, of course, because it's just Virginia. And that is just like 3 days after our grandson's birthday. So we're bringing his birthday presents with us. And super excited about seeing them. Okay, there we go. There is Perfectly Pears. A Good Friend is a gift. And I do like it with Darling Duckling. The original, I used Crushed Curry. So let me know what you think. They both work. This is actually a Stampin' Up! Color combo. Melon Mambo, Crushed Curry, and Soft Seafoam. So we just alternate, really just brings out the green more. Yeah, Jolene, the blender pens are really amazing. The key, I think, is to use them in small spaces. So you don't want to like color a big area with them. If you have a big area, you're best off to get out your water painters. Okay, now we have kind of leaning into fall, kind of year round. This is another one of the online exclusive stamp sets. And actually, it's a whole suite. This is what I'm using for my card club this month. And you can see where I've got some of the stamps out, and the dies are incredible in this. So we are going to do a sympathy card. I don't know about you, but I always try to have a stash of sympathy cards, because the reality is when you need a sympathy card, you're really not in the frame of mind to make one, and you just need one. So this is all blues. I typically, at this card, my Saturday card class, I always do one card with primarily blues. So we are going to, this is where we're going. I will show you. So we're using Charming Day, but I'm using a totally different set of papers. This is the Thoughtful Journey, and we're just going to do it in a solid, one color. And I pulled in the greeting from, let's see, Loveliest Tree. So this is my greeting right here, which this will be in the bucket. So if they want to swap out Happy Birthday, that would work. And this Thanks for Being You would also work in my circle punch. I do like to have several greetings available for my card class folks. And yeah, here we go. So this is, I have a mother and daughter who are regulars at my Saturday card class, and I call them my blues girls. They really love the blues. And I just find that to me, it gives me a little bit of parameters to I pretty much am always going to have a blue card at card class. And I do try to have a variety. This is an all occasion card class. I try to have a variety of colors and styles and things there so that we can mix it up and please everybody and have lots of things in our stash. Now you see, you could brighten it up by doing, let's see how that would look. If you wanted to have a lighter look, you could definitely do that. Now, where is my piece here for my stamping? Did that not get put in there? This is why we test run these. Let's see. This piece of paper did not get put into my card packet, so I will need to do that. So you could lighten it up and do that, but I am going to go deep and smoky. And I personally, I love to make sympathy cards, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like that when someone has passed, I obviously want to send comfort to the person who has lost a loved one. I also want to honor the life of that loved one. And so this is a real caring, oh golly, I'm missing two things here. I'm missing, Lord have mercy. Okay. Good thing we're figuring this out now. So I do love to honor the memory of the person who has passed. I also think that a handmade card is one of the nicest ways that you can express your own condolences to someone. They definitely stand out from, the crowd of whatever people are sending. And they look so distinct, and people can tell that you have made something. And I think especially when people are in the midst of grief, it feels like you're really doing something very special for them, which of course you are. But I think the handmade really comes across with a sympathy card. Now I'm going to bring this here. Now you could, of course, go this direction, but I went this way. Yeah, the colors, this is Pretty Peacock, and this is Pool Party. And then these are, we're using some Lost Lagoon and Crumb Cake. And we are using the back side of Thoughtful Journey. Now this cording, this is the Lost Lagoon cording. I really like this stuff. It's very silky, but I confess that when I first got it, I struggled because I wanted to tie bows with it, and it's a little bit thick for that, I think. So what I find is I like to do this action with it. So I've put some seal down here, and I'm just going to do a couple of figure eights, loops, and then maybe another one going this direction, and then probably enough. Let me just go ahead and cut there. That'll be enough. And let me place my circle. Oh yeah, see? Then I can adjust it a little bit if I want to. Maybe pull that one up just a little bit. And then I like to just press it down into the seal so that I'm ready to place that and have just a little bit of that, you know, that little bit of texture popping out. And I find the best way to do this then is I'm going to actually put my dimensionals right here. Instead of trying to put them on my circle and then trying to figure out where they're not going to collide with the ribbon, I just put them in between the little bits of ribbon, the kind of the divots in between. And that seems to work really well and just make it a smooth and easy process for me. Oop, I got one hanging out a little bit too far. Let's move him in just a little bit. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty much centered. So I am going to do all my stamping, and then we're going to run this little guy through the cut and emboss machine. So I am using Pretty Peacock ink, and like I said, you could they are really pretty colors. You could make this into a birthday card, but I think it's really pretty for a sympathy card. And I do love blues for sympathy. And I also like browns. I try to not do a lot of black. It seems a little bit strong. You know, my husband's a pastor. We have been to a lot of funerals through the years, officiated a lot of funerals through the years, and I do have, you know, I've worn black many times, but I oftentimes wear navy blue. And I find that that is a really good, it's a good color. I know that some people just want to wear bright colors for a funeral. And I understand that sentiment. For me, because my husband's a pastor, we need to be in a slightly different place, and we want to honor not only the memory of the person, but the occasion is a somber one, regardless of, you know, feeling like they're no longer in pain, if there was some kind of a diagnosis that, you know, that they're in a better place, or all of those things. It's still a loss for the people who have gathered. Funerals are for the living, not for those who have passed. They're to comfort those who are still with us, and they are to help bring, just to be able to say goodbye to our loved ones. You know, I may have told you this before. I'll end up chatting up a storm here. My daddy loved funerals, and it was so odd. When I was younger, I used to think that was such an odd thing. But I understand much more now. He always used to say, well, it's like a big family reunion. And it is. It's one of those times when people gather. And especially now, it seems like it's hard to gather people. They're strung out across, separated across the miles. You know, people living, I've got kids living in 2 different states and another country. And I think I'm not that unusual in that. So, I mean, maybe not the international part, but, you know, many of us have a family that don't live nearby. But oftentimes for funerals, people will fly in and drive, make the extra effort to gather and to say goodbye with friends and family gathered. So funerals can be very meaningful, can be very special, very poignant, of course, sad, but a lot of times there's a lot of reminiscing. Hey, Gloria, I'm so glad you are here. Well, I've had nobody weigh in on my new camera angle, so I don't know what to think. I think it's maybe just too low, too much of a good thing. I think I'm okay. I think the position like this, I think I have less glare at this table, but I got to do something where my camera doesn't fall quite so low. Okay, now this is going to have to be through here. And I will say, for me, sympathy cards need to not have any bling or glitz, but I like just a tiny bit of shine. I find these birds are really, really good. Anything that kind of indicates the sky going upward is a really good image for me with sympathy cards. So I really like the dragonflies. I mean, all of the images are cute. You can use them in lots of different ways, but I do think that the birds for sympathy cards are really special. Okay, now this is just a 4x3 piece of Lost Lagoon, and I have stamped this with Pretty Peacock. And because I've got my camera right here, I'm going to have to crank this with my left hand. We'll see if I can do it. I'm definitely not a lefty, but I think I can do it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Oh, that's actually going really well. Should try that more often. I will say this little this mini cut and emboss, to me, it just cuts like butter. It's so easy to use. Okay, now I need to put this, I've got a little strip of magnet to hold that in place for my card class people. So this is card number 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, okay, we are rocking and rolling, folks. This is going to go right across here like so. I'm going to angle it so that I kind of like that, where it's overlapping that just a little bit. I could raise it up a little bit high. Oh yeah, I like that better, where it kind of, I don't want it to go into that circle. So, you like the camera a little higher? Yeah, I think it's a little bit too low, but I think I'm on the right track. I just have to kind of work with this a bit. I do think that I like, it's a closer view, but it's like I'm too far at this angle here and my hands are too big. So that is our sympathy card. Let's grab a couple of these little birds. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put another one flying upwards. Oh, let's see, where's the sticky? There it is. I'm going to put that one there. And then I'm going to put one right down here, flying the opposite direction, sending heartfelt sympathy. That hits all the right notes for me for a sympathy card. We have a little bit of texture, we have some really subtle shine, and we have some great soft colors. That with a little bit of soft and a little bit of deep, it just hits all the right notes for me with a sympathy card, and I hope that you are inspired. This is also a really different look for the Charming Day. The suite is gorgeous, but I love to see what you can take those same stamps and dies and do something totally different with them. So that was kind of the method in my madness there. So I'm glad everybody is liking that. Now I'm getting a glare, okay, or a shadow, I should say. Okay. Last but not least, we are doing a little Christmas in July. Super simple card. Now, this is Holly Jolly. I just finished doing my Christmas in July. Just got everything shipped out the door. This is a great stamp set. This is the one that has the hybrid embossing folder. And the hybrid embossing folder is amazing. But with that comes all of these dies. So you get 2 stitched like frame dies or labels on top of the ones that cut out all the stamped images and the joy. Yeah. Now, let me just point out a couple of things here. This is where we're going. Super simple, super classic. If you like classic Christmas, this is a great card. It's also a great one for mass production. And For me, most Christmas cards I'm making are for mass production. I need to make a lot of Christmas cards. So I need things that I can produce a lot of. This is a very simple design. This is the Seasons of Green and Gold Designer Series paper, which is still available. I think it might be on low inventory. It is reduced in cost. So it's on sale because it's on the last chance list. Well, I say that, not everything on the last chance list. In fact, only I don't know, maybe 30% of the items in the last chance list, maybe it's more than that, are on sale. All depends on how much is in the warehouse. But I've used a little bit of gold to bring out the gold here, and I've used pearls. Again, just going very, very classic. Green and gold and red, very classic. Okay, let's put it together and see how it comes. Super quick and easy. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 in Mossy Meadow. I have 5 by 2, which means you really maximize your designer series paper. When you do these 5 by 2 strips, you really maximize your paper. You have almost no waste. I love, love, love this mistletoe here. We usually have mistletoe growing in our backyard at Christmas, but this is so pretty with the gold. And I love all these greens. So this is Mossy Meadow and Old Olive, which are exactly the greens that are in the paper. And this is where everything really comes together for us. The color coordination that Stampin' Up! Gives us is pretty amazing. I think my camera is sagging again. That's what it does. It's on this, it's on my little, what do you call it? My tripod here, and it keeps sagging. Okay, now this is that lovely little die cut from the Holly and Jolly. And I'm going to stamp the greeting in Poppy Parade for a real bold pop of red. You know, we've got these very, let's see, maybe muted greens is the word I'm looking for here. And so you could use real red, but I think Poppy Parade, real red would go very nicely with this. Cherry Cobbler you could use, but I think this gives us a really, really nice pop up. Bright, bright, bold red. I like the contrast with all of the more muted greens. There we go. We are rocking and rolling on these, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually very impressed with my timekeeping for a change. Okay, let's go here. Now, we are going to bring this in here. And again, I was using that Blends marker somewhere else, but I think, let's see, let's just put this right up here like so. And I do feel that the black here actually is needed because I'm going to go in here with my Blends markers, and it kind of is going to make everything pop a little bit more. So I'm going to use my Poppy Parade, and this is actually let's use the dark. I was going to use Old Olive, but I packed those are on another table where I was working. You know, the kind of counterpart to Old Olive is Granny Apple Green. So I think, let's see how this will work. Oh yeah, I'm using dark Granny Apple Green, and that's working very well. And you see how those green, I could honestly just stamp this in green and then fill it in with green, but I think the black makes the outline and the detailing really, really come through. So this is the last card for tonight. I would love to hear your feedback on your favorite card. I'll bring them all out at the end. And don't forget, as long as you are a subscriber to my email news, you will get the tutorials for all of these as my free gift to you. this month, for inviting me into your inbox. Let's see, here we go. Now you could, should I or shouldn't I? Let's try it and see. You could color the pearls. I kind of wanted the white, but let's just give it a try and see what we think. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So we're going to put this down. And I had thought about putting a little bit of that gold ribbon down the center, and I thought, nope, there's enough gold on that paper. You know, you can get too much of a good thing. So I was like, okay, keep it simple. And I like the amount of white there. You see how it kind of helps offset all of those deep greens. So now this is going to go on a couple of dimensionals, and we're going to put a little bit of that gold ribbon. Now this is that gold, and it comes with gold and silver. I think it's called gold and silver trim. It comes with a roll of each, which is great for our Christmas cards. So, you know, right now we still have free shipping going on, and we have one more day. I have a really nice little gift that I'm sending. I was sending out gift packages today. You get 5 cards from my stash of swaps and class cards, and 24 sheets of very carefully selected designer series paper. Put a lot of thought into that, and you get 24 sheets of 6x6, and those packages went out today, so you can still get in on that. And I would encourage you, when these go out tomorrow, the tutorials, I might get them out tonight, we'll see. The tutorials, when they go out, you'll see all of the supplies. And, you know, you have all the supply numbers and everything, which just makes it easy. But to be honest, when you go in the online store and you just put gold in there, everything with gold comes up. So I'm digging the what do you call it? The search feature. Oh, Margaret, you like Poppy Parade? It's my favorite of our reds. I just love it. It's so bright and cheerful. I love to wear Poppy Parade. It's my favorite. It's my best red when I wear red. Okay, so this is going to go right like so. Actually, we're going to bring it in a little bit. Let me grab a mini glue dot, and then I am going to give it a try. We are going to try coloring the pearls and see if we like them better in red or white. Oh, I've got to color that too. We're going to have red holly berries. So here is my Poppy Parade. Bring those berries in like so. Now let's use this, and let's just, this one's a little bit smaller. This one's got fewer on it. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh, I think I might like this. So you know that you can color our pearls and our rhinestones with a blends marker. And that is what we are doing, and we are going to make 5 of these, and then we are going to scatter them across the card. And I think we might, you know what's nice in class? People will have the example of the white and the red, and they can choose what they prefer. So this little guy is going to go right there. No, I did that the first time, but I think I don't need that this time, because I'm going to, okay, so Jolene, you're liking the ringside seat. I like that term too. It is a closer view for sure. So I think I've just got to work a few kinks out, and then it's going to work. I think it's going to be a better fit for what we do. You know, these kind of blend in, but they kind of, yeah, I think you can see them. So let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Now, there they are in red, and here they are in white. Subtle difference, just a tiny difference. And actually, like, I need to get my marker in there and get around the sides a little bit better, because you can see a lot of that white. You have to do a little better at coloring. So that is card number 5. I'm going to line them up here, and you guys can tell me what your favorite is tonight. there is our classic Christmas and our Sympathy in Blues, our Golden Pears, our Ray of Sunshine, and Summer Strawberries. So tell me your favorite. I loved, this is what I do at card class. I go around as class is moving forward and I ask what people like the best. Okay, so Linda didn't know you can color the pearls, yay. And Estella likes the red pearls. I think I'm kind of liking that one too. I like the white, but I think I like the red better. So tell me your favorite. I like that feedback a lot. And I do try in this class very much. You know, a lot of classes I'm kind of showing how to use stamps and dies from a particular set or a suite. And in this class, we get to try out a lot of different things. And that is my goal. And so I like to give a lot of different colors. I always make sure I have like a real array of colors. Maybe colors that people haven't tried out, or maybe some that they don't have yet. And okay, the Sympathy, classic Christmas, okay. And while we are waiting for a few more votes, again, a reminder that we have a fabulous free shipping sale right now on orders $75 and above. And then I am also kicking in a great free gift for you. And I am going to be sharing the tutorials for all 5 of these cards as my thank you for being an email subscriber. And that might come your way tonight, like 9 o'clock. It's only 8 o'clock here in San Antonio. I think I'm probably going to get that just done now. And then I will go down and have a little decaf coffee and settle in to watch a mystery tonight before I get ready for bed. My husband and I, we've been watching that series. It's an older British series, but we never have watched it, called Rosemary and Thyme. I think it was made in like around 2005. They ran it for a couple of years. I mean, the British have such good mysteries. And it's definitely a cozy mystery. I can't do mysteries where they have like all the, you know, I can't do the blood and all that. Okay, Estella likes the last card, the Christmas. Okay, Margaret likes them all. Yay. Okay, Corinne likes the blue and then also the strawberry. Now, just a reminder too about my Paper Pumpkin. If you are not yet a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I would love for you to be a subscriber with me. I do have a little team of demonstrators, and we put together a tutorial with cards each month using just the stamps from that Paper Pumpkin kit. Because, you know, once you've used all the supplies from your Paper Pumpkin kit, you still have an awesome stamp set. And now we also have dies. So it's a really good design group. And so my Paper Pumpkin subscribers get there's usually 6 to 7 tutorials, and they're free for my Paper Pumpkin people. So I would love for you to be a part of that. And then I'm also just this month, I'm starting to share that set of tutorials also with my online orders. So like right now, if you place an order for free shipping, which is $75 or above, you get my set of cards, you get my set of papers, and you get my tutorials. So, okay, I think that is all the votes for tonight. I would love if you're watching the replay, either here on Facebook or YouTube. I would love for you to tell me what your favorite card is, and make sure that you are following me, and be sure you're on my email list. And oh no, The Residence. No, tell me about that one, Jolene. I don't know that one. You know, this if you've never heard of Rosemary and Thyme, it's very cute because Rosemary Boxer is one of the ladies, and then I think it's Laura Thyme. So it's, you know, it's herbs, but it's people. It's super cute. A little bit of humor, which I need when you're trying to solve a mystery. If it's a murder mystery, I need a little bit of laughter in there. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I'll watch in the comments, Jolene, tell me about the residents. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Take care and God bless.